Does the Constitution give Congress any authority in this area? What authority does the Constitution give to Congress? The power to declare war? When's the last time Congress declared war? Nope.
World War II?
World War II. Have we been involved in any wars since World War II? A bunch of them. So that must mean that presidents are getting us involved in war-making situations without Congress ever declaring war. You see, that's the problem that we run into. The Constitution is deliberately vague, but it does present this problem about, well, whose authority is it? Now, if we were to appeal to the framers, right? Let's appeal to James Madison. Right? What do you think Madison's position would have been on this before it comes up? What do you think Madison's? Is it the president's authority or is it Congress's authority? Well, let's see. James Madison, writing in 1793, it remains to be inquired whether there be anything in the Constitution itself which shows that the powers of making war and peace are considered of an executive nature and as comprehended within a general grant of executive power. In the general distribution of powers, we find that of declaring war expressly vested in Congress, where every other legislative power is declared to be vested, and without any other qualification than what is common to every other legislative act. The constitutional idea of this power would seem clearly to be that it is of a legislative and not of an executive nature. Every just view that can be taken of this subject admonishes the... He's pointing his finger at you from 200 years in the past. He's pointing his finger at you and saying, admonishing you, right? Every just view that can be taken of this subject admonishes the public of the necessity of a rigid adherence to the simple, the received, and the fundamental doctrine of the Constitution that the power to declare war, including the power of judging the causes of war, is fully and exclusively vested in the legislature, and that the executive has no right in any case to decide the question whether there is or is not cause for declaring war, that the right of convening and informing Congress whenever such a question seems to call for such a decision is all the right which the Constitution has deemed requisite or proper, and that for such, more than any other contingency, this right was specifically given to the executive. In no part of the Constitution is more wisdom to be found. I think Madison has a definite view on this issue. In no part of the Constitution is more wisdom to be found than in the clause which confides the question of war or peace to the legislature and not to the executive department. This is one bit of evidence to support what I told you the other day. You know, if we could dig Madison up and bring him in and have him look at the system of government and what it has become, I think he would be horrified. He would not recognize it. This is not Republican government. Now, should today, in 2010, should we be encumbered by Madison's views? I'm not saying that. The world has changed. It's changed dramatically since 1793. That was an era of sailing ships and gunpowder and communication by horseback. We live now in an era of instantaneous global communications and the prospects of nuclear annihilation and airplanes flying into the sides of buildings. You think Madison ever contemplated those things? No. So should we be encumbered by Madison's views? You have to decide that. I don't know. You decide that. But it's pretty clear that there's nothing in the Constitution that indicates that because the president is commander-in-chief, he gets to decide. I'm just saying it's not sufficient to say that because he's commander-in-chief, he gets to decide.